What did he have against Memphis?
He despised him. But he would hide it because everybody liked that boy. But underneath it was a crazy kind of hate, Captain. A crazy kind of hate. You won't believe it. I mean, sometimes you could just feel it.
Well, now my daddy's gone to glory. I work real hard. I drank corn liquor. That's the truth.
These kind of boys seems innocent, Boogie. Got everybody on the post thinking he's a strong black buck. White boys envy his strength, his speed, power in his swing. Then this colored champion lets those same white boys call him Shine or Sambo.
Whoa, Lord.
And he just smiles.
Dream about the time when I was a little boy.
Can't talk.
The night would get blue.
Can barely read or write his own name. And don't care. He'll tell you they like him. Or that colored folks ain't supposed to have but so much sense.
Yes, he would.
You know the damage one ignorant Negro can do. We were in France in the First War. We'd won decorations. But the white boys had told all them French gals that we had tails. Then they found this ignorant colored soldier. Paid him to tie a tail to his ass and run around half naked making monkey sounds. They put him on a big round table in the Cafe Napoleon. Put a reed in his hand. Crown on his head, blanket on his shoulders, and made him eat bananas in front of all them Frenchies. Oh, the white boys danced that night. Passed out leaflets with that boy's picture on it. Called him Moonshine, king of the monkeys. And when we slit his throat, you know that fool asked us what he had done wrong. My daddy told me we got to turn our backs on his kind, Wilkie. Close our ranks to the chitlins, the collard greens, the cornbread style. We are men, soldiers. And I don't intend for our race to be cheated out of its place of honor and respect in this war because of fools like CJ.
So that clip is from a movie called A Soldier's Story, and it should give you a little bit of insight as to why there's this dichotomy of blacks being well represented in entertainment fields like music and movies, but they are horribly underrepresented in academic fields. Anything that has to do with math, science, or anything academic for that matter, they are criminally underrepresented. Whites in America, and especially racist whites, are incredibly insecure when blacks pursue any type of formal education back in the day, because, especially from poor whites, because they already felt inferior about themselves, and they could mitigate that inferiority by projecting their own self-loathing onto what they perceived as a class that was below them, black people. And this hierarchy that was based upon race was established with slavery, where blacks were treated like chattel. But whites didn't have a major problem with blacks being in entertainment as long as because they saw them as entertaining them. You know, these are just monkeys who are dancing and singing for us, for our pleasure. So they didn't have that much problem with it, and if you look at it from the point of view of a black person, that was the only field in which you could realistically expect to receive any form of monetary compensation that was reasonable. I mean, let alone something that could get you by day to day. this is the only thing that white people were willing to give them a reasonable compensation for, entertainment. They were denied a formal education, or any education for that matter, and anytime blacks were smart enough to paddle upstream, as I say, to resist all the social pressures that were against them, that dissuaded them from pursuing academic fields, the few that were able to surmount those challenges met opposition, sometimes violent opposition, to them simply going to college. You know? So entertainment, music, movies, and television were the only aspirations they could have, and sports to a degree as well. But even in those fields, you know, like, there were still hurdles, but it wasn't as severe as the hurdles that they experienced when it came to academics. Like I said, it is all about perception of inferiority and superiority. If you can be okay with someone entertaining you and making money, because it's just a monkey dancing for me. I don't have to feel inferior. Even though we are paying this man to dance for us, you don't have to feel inferior from that, because you can kind of in your mind rationalize that he is a dancing monkey. He's still subservient to you. He's entertaining you. He's serving you. But when someone's smarter than you, when someone's more educated than you are, then you feel unbelievably inferior. And that was the kind of self-loathing that poor whites, racist whites felt. And that's why they did everything in their power to prevent blacks from pursuing the education that they deserved. And that's why you see this dichotomy. And I think it's, kind of relevant to point out in this time, because, there's a lot of controversy over the Oscars, because we know full well that there are plenty of movies with black people in it there are great movies out there, like Straight Outta Compton. I talked to my white friend about it. I didn't see it, but he saw it. And he told me that it was a splendid movie. It was definitely Best Picture material. And some people have been saying, Idris Elba deserves an Oscar for Best Actor. And other black actors and actresses definitely deserve to be represented in the Oscars, but yet they are not, despite the fact that they are well represented in American media and American entertainment, but yet they are oddly underrepresented at that particular awards show this year. And that doesn't sit well with people. So, try to think about that a little bit, hopefully, I don't know, like, how do you change this? The legal obstacles have been dismantled, but the social obstacles still remain. People still submissively, in their minds, pass over resumes from qualified black people just as long as the name sounds black and stuff like that. That's a much harder obstacle to overcome. How do we overcome that? How do we get black people the education that they deserve when so many of them live in inner cities and in impoverished areas, and those schools don't get the funding that they need? And it doesn't help, like, then you have people like Bill O'Reilly and other conservative hicks who blame rap music and sports stars. And, honestly, like, they are right to a certain extent, in the sense that they do glamorize those kinds of aspirations, like becoming a basketball star or a rap star. And they give this kind of false hope to impoverished black students, black kids, into thinking that this is what they should aspire to, and neglect academics. The only problem with those hicks is that they are ignoring all the historical injustices that occurred that prevented blacks from achieving academic success for many decades. And that's why they're racist pieces of fucking shit. But at the same time, I don't applaud these bad role models for black people. I sincerely hope that something is done so that black youth aspires more towards academics. I think in the long run it would be far more beneficial for them. So Post in the comments section what you think, guys. This is Enigma Hood signing off.